This is episode 1 of SOULdemic. I want to introduce Carol Gino, Carol Banaynos. I'm Jonathon Troen. I might say Carol G and Carol B instead of always saying the full names, just for, so I don't, fewer words for me to stutter over. But we're all very excited about this. Now, SOULdemic, I know you're all, what the heck is this SOULdemic thing? So Carol G came up with this concept of SOULdemic. So I'm going to turn it over to Carol G. Carol G, what is SOULdemic?
SOULdemic for me is, you know how everybody is terrified about the virus that we've now decided and is a physical, unseen thing that catches all of us and touches all of us. SOULdemic for me would be the antidote, because there's so much of us that still exists in unseen areas that I think that SOULdemic should connect all of us, because pandemic is what's behind the virus. I do believe this is an evolutionary reset. It manifests in the world as a physical illness, but I do think that the real problem is the unseen fear and greed and corruption and everything around. And I'd like us to help develop a larger soul in all of us. We all talk about soul, but that's our connective. That's the thing that connects us all. And I think our new world, the one we're going to build from this, has to be an evolutionary up from what we have now.
Got it. So SOULdemic is the virus to connect all of our souls together.
Yeah, except it's not a virus because it doesn't do damage. It's sort of the same ability to connect on soul level rather than only physical. It's like bringing all of us to the table now. You know, we talk about soul a lot, but who knows what it is, you know? And we're going to help people find all our commonalities and bring all of us to the table. That's my vision. Anybody else?
Thank you. All right. Carol B, what does SOULdemic mean to you? Why are you here?
Okay, so SOULdemic for me, like actually, you know, it's crazy. So I just want to kind of share with people that, you know, in early February of 2020, I had a psychic reading, and the psychic was telling me that I was going to come together with 2 other people. There would be 3 association, and that we're going to come together for a higher purpose. You know, and then when I met you guys, then, you know, it all kind of clicked into what we're doing. And it's way more massive and bigger than each of us can comprehend. So it's going to be so magical to see how it unfolds, you know? So yeah, so I believe that's why we're here and reconnected. And in regards to what SOULdemic means to me, I believe it's kind of being able to help people facilitate the turning away from themselves and then turning towards themselves. Because a lot of the time we are always looking outside external factors to know who we are when we have all of the answers inside of us. And so when we're able to connect with ourselves, then connect with our mind, body, and soul, and kind of really rectify these internal traumas or past issues and all this other stuff. Once we can connect with ourselves, then we can connect with everyone else, and then we can start to see that we're all one. However, if we're in this society or in world where we're stuck in social conformity and we are just focusing on the I and being separate from other people, then we're going to keep on having this delusion. And we need to kind of lift the veil and kind of see clearly that we're all one soul, one being. And then also the term that was coming up for me a lot was this term, stewardship. So essentially, we are all here in this earth, we inhabit the earth, and we have a responsibility to kind of for our fellow human being and to help Mother Earth, because, you know, as Carol said, with this current landscape, we cannot revert back. We have to be able to kind of implement new ways of beings, new ways of how we show up in this world to make this environment better. Because, you know, we've seen, like, you know, in India, they weren't able to, once everything settled down, people were finally able to see the mountains that they never knew existed resisted, the pollution in China or whatever. They had clean flowing water. So that's already a big key indicator that, our old ways of being has to change. And, there's that saying too, as well, that, Mother Earth will provide for every man's need, not every man's greed. So again, another really big common element, whether we are female or male, that we have to kind of approach things in a feminine way, a motherly way, and not, and not like all destruction. We need to kind of come together and like, this is our earth, we inhabit it. So let's work together and get connected to the self, get connected to others, and start moving forward in a positive way. So
in what you said, one of the things that struck me, one of my unseen friends, said the other day, how do you hope to achieve equality in a hierarchy? And a patriarchy is a hierarchy. We need the circle that can equalize us, so that both men and women internalize and bring to bear both their masculine and feminine. But also, I've studied spirituality and enlightenment for so many years. And what I feel now in the evidence of my life, if you will, is that I need to help bring it in practical terms. What does it mean, spirit in daily life? How does it keep you from suffering or being afraid at a time where everybody else is terrified? And I find myself hopeful and excited and saying, oh my God, I know this is what I was born for. I mean, there were so many challenges in my life that I managed to, I don't know, you can't say overcome, that grew me into more. I mean, I had cancer, I had a stroke, I had a dead grandbaby, I had a couple of divorces, I was a single mom, I was a nurse for 26 years. I mean, I had a big platter that life supplied without bringing to bear my spirits, my souls, my angels, or anything anybody else believes in that we don't have to name, but it's the context in which we live. Unless we bring that into practical value, right now everybody is going to come from fear and make bad decisions, because fear forces illusion on you, rather than truth.
Yes.
Jonathan.
Well, I want to answer the question too about SOULdemic, and I want to, for a moment, redefine virus, because you said something really important, Carol G, where a virus is something that can hurt people. So I want to expand it just for either this conversation or maybe further, that a virus is something that spreads. It spreads from one person to another. So when I say virus, I'm not only meaning, well, that molecule or whatever it is that goes from me to you and gets you sick. But a virus is something that spreads from one thing to another. And you both spoke about the fear and the separateness of us. So fear is a virus. It spreads from one person to another. Complaining is a virus. One person doesn't like something, and then either the other person attaches onto that or finds something that they don't like, right? So then complaining becomes a virus and just piles on top of each other. And I believe we can create other viruses, not even create them, they're here. I believe kindness is a virus.
Sacred viruses.
Sacred viruses. So I believe kindness is a virus. I believe compassion is a virus. I believe gratitude is a virus. I believe self-love and self-compassion, which you guys know me, it's one of the things I teach, and we can get into that later. But all these are viruses, and these are viruses of the soul, right? So what does SOULdemic mean to me? It's let's take these viruses and set them out into the world, and they can spread one by one by one by one, just like the coronavirus is spreading one by one, or maybe it's one to many. But kindness can go one to many too. If you're in a room of 20 people, not today with coronavirus, but if you're in a room of people,
I don't know about where you're at, but here in Canada, we can have groups of 50 or more.
No way. Man, if it weren't so cold up in Canada, I am so ready to move to Canada.
You're welcome.
Yeah, if you're with people and you're kind, the room feels it. And that's what SOULdemic is to me. How do we begin to spread the viruses that connect us, that as you said, Gina B, bring us together as a oneness? All these individuals, and there are individuals, but how do we are all connected, whether we want to or not, whether you like it or not, we're connected. This proves it.
Yes.
There was an interesting, you know how often we hear we're energetic beings. That meant I studied for years. It still didn't mean anything to me. And then when I had my first brain blitz and they took away my left brain and I couldn't talk and it was a mess. Anyway, what happened was I was meditating one day and I was looking at my hands. I was looking at a candle first, then I was looking at my hands, and suddenly they started to look like moving energy. And I got scared, of course, and I put water on my face and ran into the bathroom and stuff. When I sat down on the couch and I looked across the street, I took my hand and I put it on the window. And I saw my hand and the window started to be energetic. And then I looked across the street and I saw the house across the street be energy. And suddenly I thought, oh my God, they're talking for real. I mean, in another plane or another universe or another vision, we're all really the same energy, and we're just the densest form right now. So that if we can access all of what we are, we'll find out that we're just different dense form of the same energy. So any of our separations are silly, and we have to acknowledge the pain that separation causes and stuff. But we also have to get out there and touch the way the three of us did and say, let's see what our form takes. Let's see how we can make it better and raise the energy and maybe help others who are feeling like they're on the edges,
Because I think
if you're feeling like crap, SOULdemic is for you.
Yeah, right. Or if you're feeling afraid, that also is a great help, because if destiny planned this, destiny has a lot more written, whatever name you call destiny,
Yeah, and I think maybe a lot of people may have like maybe a challenging time kind of thinking that we're all energy, because like you said, I believe that too, that everything is energy, and then we're just kind of operating at different frequencies, and that's why a bottle, a chair, us look differently, but we're just vibrating at different levels. But another thing that can help people understand energy, even if they're is, say for instance, we all have this feeling where you kind of walk in a room and you can feel the tension. You know what I mean? You can feel the energy. Or else, you walk in another room and you can just feel the love. So it's almost like that's a little bit of glimpse of what like energy is and how we're all connected. Because if we weren't connected, how would we be able to feel that? Because our energy or aura fields kind of connect with others as well.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And those that are watching, if you guys, if you haven't practiced walking into rooms to feel energy, it's a really cool exercise. You can do it anywhere. Just walk from your office or wherever you are and walk into the kitchen. Don't go to the fridge. And just feel there's a different energy, and walk into the bedroom and just notice the energy is different, and then walk outside and just notice the energy is different. And we just keep walking through life unconsciously without knowing what's going on. And when you can bring that consciousness to the moment and into the place you're in, it just begins to change how you look at yourself and look at the world around you. It's a pretty cool exercise. Yeah, thanks for that, Carol B. I forgot about that one. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm called to take a step back, because we're sharing this on each other's pages and networks and whatnot, and the people that know me have no idea who you guys are, and vice versa. So let's take a step back just to say who we all are. So Carol B, who are you?
Me, I always kind of describe and define myself this way. So I describe myself as a spiritual being having a human experience here on earth, and that I grow and evolve based on the experiences I choose for myself and the experiences that God and Source provide for me to become a better version of myself each day. And I would define myself as a multifaceted expression exhibitionist, meaning that
Pause. Multifaceted
expression exhibitionist.
Exhibitionist. Okay, got it. Go on.
Yeah. So essentially, I allow myself to express all aspects of myself. So whether that be the light, the darkness, the funny, the intellect, the wisdom, you know, the creative, the sexual, you know, all those different aspects. Because the thing is, we're spirit in human form. So I go through all these different human emotions, and I think, you know, I allow myself to experience all that. And then my purpose and passion here on this earth is to raise human consciousness and to help people realize their greatest and fullest potential while operating as their true authentic self. And I fulfill my purpose by what I create, what I communicate, and the things that I build, and what I'm doing with you guys.
What so give us just a quick example. What do you create and build?
So I have books. So I have a coaching and consultant practice with my business partner. So we coach and mentor entrepreneurs to help them transition from working into on their business. I do like book publishing, and I'm a best-selling author myself. And I have a Wake the Fuck Up movement to help people on their spiritual and personal development. And then I have a movement called The Genius in You to help extracting their acres of diamonds. And then starting another movement called Success is Just a Decision Away. And that's again to help people, you know, kind of create the success they want in their life. And I have other projects as well. And then this one we're doing together, SOULdemic, to kind of help raise human consciousness and get people connected to themselves so they can be connected to the world and make this world a better place.
I love, see, there are so many ways that this SOULdemic, this virus, can begin spreading out there. I love it. And I apologize. I should have put up here somewhere parental advisory when you got Carol B around, you know, all of us, but you know, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. Carol G, who are you?
Who am I? I swear to God, I am my spirit's avatar. I am here just carrying on. I follow the iridescent arrows of fate, and I wind up in incredible experiences. And then I take those experiences, and if I survive them, I write about them. And so I am also, whatever this means, a best-selling author on a bunch of subjects, all hopefully healing and promoting the heroic in each of us so that others can see how other people have faced their challenges, so we can raise the bar on what humanity really is. For me, I feel like I help facilitate healing, if we need healing, balance maybe. I guess my big thing is I want people to learn to trust the world, to trust life, aside from the fact that, man, it's a rough player. I'm not saying life isn't a rough player, but I got to almost 80 being able to duke it out with life, and they've given me presence and presence and present. Hasn't been easy, but it's been wonderful. It really has.
And I just want to add a little bit about both of them, because these are two just amazing forces in the world that I was lucky enough to come across. I really feel that way. Carol Gino, she was a nurse for many years. She's helped so many people. She sat on the bedside of many people who are passing from this world either onto death or another world, however you want to call it. And that alone just gives some amazing insight. She has just amazing insights into the world, into people, and is giving just like nonstop giving. And thank you for that. And
my dad always used to say, just give till the world stops giving to you.
And I've been a recipient of that. So I get these text messages. She just keeps texting me all this stuff. And here's your soul, here's your soul name, and here's your soul level, and here's how to connect with them, and here's this thing to listen to, and it's just like nonstop gifts for my soul.
You know, Jonathan, because she's our mom.
Yeah, I'm good at that. I can do that too.
And Carol B, when I spoke to her the first time, there's just such intuition there. So if she just, I don't know how, but either it's connection to the world, to the universe, speaking through her, whatever it is. but the messages come to her, and she can dig into you and identify you and what's going on with you in a way, and in perhaps a different perspective. Or honestly, for me, usually it's in a way that you already know, that maybe you just haven't spoken out loud, which is what we all need to hear. So really powerful. So I just wanted to say you guys are awesome.
Yeah,
And
Jonathan.
a little bit about me too. So I don't know, I was going to say former internet entrepreneur, but now that we're back in the COVID world, so I have a yoga studio. I've been teaching for some years now. We have a studio here in Austin, Texas, but now I'm back in the internet world because everything we're teaching is online. I have a program called Self-Love Revolution. So that's really a lot of what I focus on right now is helping people to be kinder to themselves so that they can experience success in life. And when they experience success, even the textbook success, you know, the money and the relationships and all that, so many people achieve that, but are still, they feel empty inside, or they feel something's missing, right? That's what the midlife
You
crisis.
know, Jonathan, one of the things I have to say that was a big wake up from the time I met you and stuff like that, and Carol, is that in my head before, when anybody talked about self-love, I kept thinking to myself, my God, that's what we need. Some more entitlement, some more people focusing on themselves instead of on other people. And then when I started looking around and understanding how much of what we don't own about ourselves we project onto everybody else, and how much that raises the mistrust in everything, I suddenly realized how important self-love was, to be able to own all the aspects of yourself and love them, dark and light, as Carol says, because then the collective is raised by everybody owning their own stuff and being able to love each other as they love themselves, you know, but you can't do that without the love yourself.
That's what it is. I mean, and to bring that to SOULdemic. So if you took me before, when, you know, when I was working solely in the internet world, and then after in the television world, I spent 20 years in Los Angeles. So I had textbook success, right? A couple blocks from the beach, and, you know, everyone wants to get the six figure, all that kind of stuff, right? I had the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I was a bully to myself. I was an asshole to myself. I was never good enough. I was comparing myself always to others who were doing, you know, there was always someone doing better than you are. So, you know, I'm 3 blocks from the beach. Oh, well, that person is 2 blocks and that person is on the beach. And I could never be good enough. And the thing is, that spread like a virus. So the people around me felt that ickiness from me. Something was missing. Something was not fully loving there. So that's what spread, whether I knew it or not, whether I saw it or not. Looking back, I know that that's what I was spreading, intentionally or not. So now what I get to do is I get to own successes and failures and all of it, and go to, and I look in the mirror at the end of the day, and I just go, Jonathan, good job today. And I look at whatever successes there are. You know, that was a good thing. You were a good dad today. You know, think about time I spent with my son. You were a good dad today. Or, you know, you did that. You were a good husband today. Or you watered the plants. You were a good plant today. Whatever it is.
Right.
And then what happens is that begins to spread to other people, because I'm not in this little ball that just wants to escape from the world. I'm in a big fiery ball that just wants to share with the world, and it comes out. So to me, it's an essential ingredient of what SOULdemic can be, because how we feel about ourselves is what we end up spreading subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
No, and that's so beautiful, Jonathan, because, you know, a lot of the times, you know, people give, you know, but they kind of lack the self-love to themselves. So I kind of like, when people kind of ask certain things, it's like, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to focus on the loving of yourself, because how are you going to pour from an empty cup? You can't do that. So, you know, the thing is, people have to spend time in self-reflection, getting time to know themselves, kind of focus on, you know, giving to themselves first. So whether they wake up in the morning, do meditation, exercise, and give themselves that love, so they're overflowing. So when it comes to kind of serving the rest of the day, you know what I mean, your cup is overflowing, so you can give it to whomever. And I think people are like, oh, I can't do this to myself. I'm a mother. I'm a this and that. I have no time for self-love. But it's okay to be selfless and focus on yourself, because if you don't, then you're gonna wear yourself out, you know?
You become a victim.
Yeah,
Victim.
exactly.
I can give and give and give and I get nothing back.
Also, the more of the dark in yourself that you own, that you claim, and that you honor, first of all, it's a great source of creativity and motivation. But not only that, what it does, as soon as you start owning your own mistakes, your own darkness, your judgment starts to fall away from others, you know? You stop judging other people for their mistakes. You stop judging other people for what they don't do well enough, for their vulnerabilities, and it's like, it even takes a step away from forgiveness, because it's easy to get to forgiveness once you understand the commonalities that you and another have. What we fear generally is the unknown. And if we don't know ourselves, so much more is unknown. The more we know ourselves, we can begin to make our home in ourselves. And then anything else that goes around on the outside world doesn't threaten the we are at home.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a,
Yeah.
it's just it's a lovely thing to discover that whoever the source of creativity was that decided we should be us. And I got that all mixed up with karma one time. So I thought I'd just keep coming back. And then one of my angels said, yeah, but you're never going to come back as Carol again. So you better make it work. And I thought, oh my God, I'm here for the last time. I better own me, you know? And with that comes so much adventure in life. If we keep recycling our own conscious thoughts, and we have computer cards underneath that keep popping up, we're in the same circle all the time. If we allow more of the universe in, because we begin to trust it, and we stop being afraid of living, if we stop being afraid of living, death is a promise, not a threat. I mean, it's good.
So just like, I'm happy that you guys, whoever is watching and listening, this is why I was so excited, because Carol Gino, like, man, she's an amazing woman. And like, you know, throughout all these episodes that we're going to be doing, you guys can be able to kind of be able to tap into her wisdom, because, you know, she said this the most amazing thing, and Jonathon, he's going to agree with me, but she said something so amazing. So she said something like, okay, people move from state to state, you know what I mean? But I moved from state to state, you know what I mean, on a higher level. And I thought that was amazing. And then with Jonathon, like, you know, it's such a treat, because I think you are an amazing role model for men. You know what I mean? To be able, yes, to be able to kind of show men that, you know, vulnerability is strength, and then also having the courage to kind of leave a life of, you know, that perceived success in a Hollywood producer, to kind of formulate your own path to self-love revolution. You know, and getting people to be in tune and touch with themselves. So I'm so excited. And I hope you guys that are listening, watching, like, wow, you guys are in for a treat with these two amazing people. Like
three.
I'm hoping that you guys too, so they can think, you know, they can, you know, I've been so excited because I'm telling a lot of people about you. Now they can finally see, like, oh my God, I love you guys.
Yeah. I love to see how creativity is going to use us.
Yes.
To play out, because like today I woke up this morning and one of my out-of-body friends, I made a lot of friends while I was sitting by the bedside of dying people. By the way, that's one of my favorite things to do, because it's like when you move out of an old house, you know, sometimes you can't take all your furniture. So what these people left me, because they had no time for bullshit, what they left me was all the wisdom that they had accrued over their lifetime that they couldn't take or didn't need on the next plane. And I got the message that nobody who was dying ever complained about the things they did. They only complained about the things they didn't do.
Mhm.
And so I got to live life full out because I knew that one of the rules of the game was play it out. If you make a mistake, it means you're starting to get to your edges. And then you can take another jump. And then you can take another jump. And we die all the time. Every day we die to something. So if we learn to start to trust those transitions, then when death comes, hey, I'm going to say, man, you did a damn good job. You were Carol full out. There were people who loved you and people who couldn't stand you, but you were Carol, and that's it. You can't do more. You got to trust the source.
And you're home. If you're home inside of you, like I was not home inside of me before. I'm home inside of me. You're home inside of you. So when we leave, and apparently, according to Carol G, and I believe it, we might be back here. So maybe we got a chance to be home in whatever that is. By the way, Carol, do they tell you who you're going to be next life?
I don't want to know, but your destiny numbers will tell you what you're aiming for at the end of this life. I gave you those numbers, and I'll explain them to you whenever you want.
I know. I need a little.
But we all have the same number, though, right, Carol?
Only on spirit. Only on spirit. So our spirits have created, and our spirits are all at our 12s, so they're on all aspects of self. But our individual souls, Carol and mine are the same. Jonathon's is different. So it'll be fun. Jonathon is a hopeful healer this lifetime. Okay? You and I are Mother Nature, as well as the nature of all things, and seeing how all things make up the one, or seeing the one in all things. I always mix it.
So you have a hopeful healer and a double dose of Mother Nature here.
Right, which is an 8, which is creativity. That Carol and I together add up to creativity. Creativity with a hopeful healer, man.
So let's do this. We've been here for I didn't really look at the clock when we started, for about a half hour. So let's begin to wrap up. Let's give everyone who's watching, from each of us, one thing that they can do today to be a part of this SOULdemic, to create a SOULdemic, to, in my words, spread the virus, but in whatever your words are. So let's each of us give something to everyone who's listening. So Carol G.
Okay, mine is, I'm going to try to help people get to their soul mind, because the soul has a mind of its own, and it's not the rational mind that we think of when everybody uses what they say is rational. It's closer to the heart of God, to spirituality. So what I'd like everybody to do is remember one time that they had a gut feeling, because that's where your soul mind hangs out, that they didn't trust. They used their rational mind instead, and they finally understood that that gut was a better way to go. I'd like them to try that this time. Just ponder that. And then until we meet again, I'd like them to feel that gut feeling on one small or bigger thing, so that they can bring it to us and we can talk about it sometime if we want.
Awesome. All right. Carol B., one thing we all can do.
Oh man, that's a little bit challenging because there's so many things. I think what people can do is just kind of sit in silence. Just be able to listen. It's kind of like building upon Carol G's, but like to kind of just sit in silence and be able to kind of trust your intuition more, and just spend time with yourself in silence, away from all that external noise. Because so much times, when people are so scared to sit with themselves because of what's going to surface. However, you know what I mean? The only person you need to be scared of is yourself. You need to be able to dive deep and start listening to the voices. And sure, shit's going to surface. But the thing is, unless you're able to, have the silence and let the things surface and deal with it right away, then you're always going to have, things kind of prompting you, or things having blockages. So the thing is, if you don't deal with your shit, then your shit's gonna hit the fan. So it's might as well start taking some time with yourself and sitting in silence and dealing with issues that you've been throwing underneath the carpet. So sit in silence, meditate, and have a lot of self-reflection.
So connect to your gut feeling, sit in silence. Love those. Here's what I'm going to add. And it has to do with, I forget the word you used, Carol B. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to pick any body part and just say something kind to it, or thank it for doing what it does. When we talk about our bodies, usually we're complaining. Whether it's physical, I don't like the way I look, or whether it's my knee hurts, or this hurts, and everything is about a complaint about the body. So I just want you to pick one thing. You made it up the stairs, thank your knee for making it up the stairs. You got to turn your head right and left, even if your neck hurts, just say, hey, thank you, neck, for being able to turn. Thank your feet for just being able to stand on 2 feet. You don't have to do the whole body. Just pick one thing. Maybe you like your eyes, maybe you like your smile, one thing, and just thank it or say something kind to it, and begin creating what Carol G was saying, that home inside of ourselves. That's one of the first steps to creating that home inside of ourselves.
Yeah, a safe place. Now, how is anybody going to get in touch with us if they want? You want to give a Facebook page, or just your name and where to go? What would you like?
So let's do that. So Carol G, how can they get in touch with you?
I have a website. They can write to Carol at carolgino.com for now. And then we'll set up SOULdemic pieces after this, or they could go to Roshana's Magic Garden. But Carol at carolgino.com will do fine.
All right. Carol B, how do they get to you?
You can just connect with me on Facebook, Carol Banaynos. I have a profile page and my coaching page, and I also have the Wake the Fuck Up page. So just connect with me on Facebook. I'm there.
Awesome. And you can connect with me here on Facebook. It's just Facebook, Jonathon Troen, Facebook/Jonathon Troen. Or you can join the Self-Love Revolution. Go to selfloverevolution.com, which apparently there's an issue. Thank you, Carol G, for pointing it out. I still have to figure out what it is. But go to selfloverevolution.com. So this wraps up episode 1 of SOULdemic. We started this with the philosophy of build the wings on the way down. So we jumped off the cliff, we're building the wings. We don't have the SOULdemic website up, but we intend to, but we didn't want to wait for that to just start jumping into this. So we'll be back here live next Monday, and it'll be on demand in our Facebook feeds, and we'll get it up on YouTube also. So this is episode 1, 11 o'clock Central Time on Monday. So 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific. And we'll be here every week. We'll share with you. We want you to share with us. If you have comments, please give us comments. What are you struggling with?
If there's any questions you guys have that we can address as well.
Yeah, ask us your questions. Share your comments, what you like, what you don't like, what you need help with, what you might want to contribute. You're part of the SOULdemic. So come share what you want to contribute, and we can make it happen. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Carol. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching.
See ya.
Until next time.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.